Hey everybody, it's Scott. Thank you for joining us for the first annual Reno AM Jam. This is the online players meeting, and because this is a COVID edition tournament, it is imperative that you watch and understand all aspects of this video players meeting. Mark my words, there might be a few extra hoops to jump through, but we're going to have a great event and you're going to have a great time. We're going to have some stern warnings because I don't want to have to kick any of you out of the event. You'll want to pay attention here because some of these issues are no warning, instant disqualifications. So we'll say our thank yous, cover some rules, and talk about some other good stuff. A quick synopsis: COVID compliance, no smoking or drinking, no caddies or spectators. We're going to get into all of this. Let me start by thanking our supporters. Innova Champion Discs, whose support makes it possible to have a great raffle and make it possible for me to provide Savage Players Packs that were worth way more than the entry fee and help make this a great event. Special thanks to the folks that sponsored a hole at our event: Wyatt Hannell, Jeremy Wilson, the Worth family, Dan Turner, Nick Shaw, and Doug Angelo, who's not even playing the event. Thanks again, friends. Special thanks to Scott Pointer, who's going to help me make this a great event for you guys, Eric Wanhoff and Luke Anderson, who've done tons of work on lots of the holes that you're going to be playing. Wednesday at midnight will be the last chance for getting a refund, so if you're not joining us, let me know pronto. Now, things at this tournament are working a little different than what you may have experienced in the past because this is a COVID version of the event. First, this is new. When you check in, you will need to fill out a COVID compliance survey right there as you check in. More on this part in a minute. I had to propose a COVID mitigation plan that was approved by our local government in order to be able to hold this event. That stands as our agreement. As a result, all rules will be followed with strict compliance as to not jeopardize our ability to hold future events. First and foremost, if you're feeling under the weather, do not come. Masks. Failure to follow this rule will not result in a warning. Failure to follow this rule will result in immediate disqualification. Signs will be posted and all players must wear masks, properly covering nose and mouth. Do not show up here floating around your junky mask that's sitting like this with your nose poking out. That does not constitute compliance. By the same token, if you show up pulling the chin strap move, first of all, you look like an idiot. Second of all, that, because it's on you, does not mean that it's being worn in compliance. All right? Don't turn me into the cops because that's not what I'm here to do. You must have a mask on when in the tournament central area. Do not approach the table for check-in. Do not even come within 50 feet of that area unless you have your mask on. If you show up and make it a situation where I have to tell you, hey dummy, you saw on the players meeting that you were supposed to have your mask on, guess what? Instant DQ. Because by the time you get there, the damage is done. You have caused a problem with us and local government and the plan that we agreed upon to make this event happen. I don't care who you are or who you think you are. Out if you cannot comply. Don't make it an issue. Now look, once you're out of the tournament central area and on your way to your holes, no issue. Don't pull your mask off right as you leave the table. Get at least 50 feet away from tournament central. Take your mask off, proceed to your holes, maintain social distancing, and you will be able to play in your group without a mask on if you feel safe doing so. Social distancing. Technically, the social distancing guidelines are 6 feet apart, but for this event, because we are in groups out at a distance, it looks like we're closer together than we actually are. We do not want any misunderstandings that people in our event are not maintaining social distancing. It is for this reason that you must maintain at least 8 feet of social distance when you're out on the course. Do not touch other people's discs. Do not touch other people's equipment. Listen, I get it. We're used to hanging out and we're used to being with our friends. But we have to go with the flow on this. Do not high five. Do not shake hands. Just keep your camaraderie to a verbal level. All right, check-in. Here is something new. There's a mandatory COVID component to check-in. When coming to the table, I will have a web address for you to head to and take a quick safety check-in. This will be posted on the Disc Giant Mobile, which is the ambulance next to the check-in table. This has been a component at most of the big events lately and now part of our check-in here in Washoe County. To make it easy, I'll also have a QR code that you can scan and go straight to the survey. Everyone must check in prior to play and take this survey. So be sure to show up at least 40 minutes before your tee time on day one unless you checked in on Friday at the ranch. Here's how it'll go. There will be a web address and a QR code. You can use either one to go to the survey. Before you get in line, get on there and fill out the COVID compliance survey, then get in line. The first thing you will do when you get to the check-in table is provide us with your name and your division, and then you're going to show us your screen that tells us your COVID compliance survey has been completed. Then we proceed to the rest of the check-in. Don't show up at the table not knowing what's going on and not having taken the survey while there's 30 people behind you in line, and then we have to tell you, hey, knucklehead, go over there, get out of line, get back to the back. Listen, no one wants that. Don't hold everybody up. Get with the program and get it taken care of. Then you'll get your players pack. You specified a size on your registration. Don't try to pull a fast one and decide you want a 3X and snag someone's 3X. And then that guy shows up after paying an extra fee to get a larger shirt, and somehow the 3X isn't there because the guy that usually wears a 2X stole the 3X. And then he wore it out during his round. And remember when that happened at Lizard Peak, everybody? Oh, I do. Oh, people that take the wrong size shirt. Ooh, that ain't right. Look, when you're getting your players pack, be prepared. You're going to get an AVR X3 with a tournament stamp. You're going to have choices as low as 149 grams. Get it in your head what weight you're looking for, get to the table, and be decisive. Again, there might be, if you're the only guy in the registration line when you, the check-in line when you happen to show up, okay, that's fine. Thumb through them a little bit, take your time for a second. But do not hold up a bunch of people behind you. That ain't right. Look, know your weight, get up there, and have a backup plan in case your weight is not in stock. All right, so if you were looking for 163 and there's the closest one is a 166, there's 3 colors. Pick a color, don't deliberate, grab it, get your players pack, head out, checked in, ready for action. Another thing you're going to have a choice of is the glass mini. But look, they're glass. We're not going to have them all out there where people can drop them on the ground and bust them and who knows what. And then we bring them to the thing and they're jostling around, they get cracked. They're all going to be wrapped in bubble wrap, okay? The only thing you're going to really see is that this one's kind of a goldish yellow color, or this one's red, or this one might be gray. You're just going to have to go, well, blue looks cool to me, I'm taking that. Then you're going to get it. You're going to get out of line. You're going to get your players pack. You're going to be looking at your goodies. You unwrap your mini and, oh my goodness, I've got a gray swirl. Cool, all right? There's no trade backs. There's no goofy monkey business. What you could do is go, hey man, I got a gray one. I was really looking for a red one because I couldn't see through the bubble wrap. Whatever. Trade one of your friends. Trade another competitor. But we're not going to be doing a trade-in system with glass minis. These are all one-of-a-kind treasures. Appreciate what you got because it's good stuff, all right? While we're talking about players packs, on check-in, one thing that you did get a choice of is a slightly smaller sock or a slightly larger sock. Well, I was misinformed. There aren't different sock sizes available. This is one size fits you. Hopefully, they do fit you. I don't know. That's what they told me. They should fit just about everybody, but we'll see what happens. You want to pay close attention to this one. There is no smoking or of anything. Vape pen, I don't care. It doesn't matter because what we're not going to do is go, hey, that guy's smoking, then someone else goes, oh, it's just a vape pen. No, there's no smoking of anything during the round, okay? There is no consumption of alcohol whatsoever during the round. In the past, people thought they'd get cute and, look, I'm going to hide my alcohol in my Gatorade bottle because I just can't play without get a little buzz on. That is cheating. And I did not become the Nevada State coordinator for the PDGA by letting people coast on the rules. If you are caught violating this rule, it is a no warning, instant disqualification, and I am happy to dole out the DQ on this. You can ask anyone because as far as I'm concerned, you make the sport look bad. Hey man, it's one thing when you're out with your buddies and having a drink and having a casual round. That's not what you signed up for here. So if that's you and you can't handle it, you may as well give me your resignation now. This is a PDGA sanctioned event. Don't waste your money. Go to doubles, go play tags. Get together with your friends, all right? Don't make it an issue. No one wants to be involved in the drama, especially me. I don't want to have to DQ anybody. It's a drag. Please, don't make it an issue. Hey, and listen, while it might be okay to have a drink or smoke in the parking lot while you have your lunch, belligerence will not be tolerated. If you're loaded coming back to the event and putting a funk on things for your card mates, ejection, son. Caddies and spectators are strictly prohibited. There is only one exception to this rule. There is one junior sign up for this event, and if that person brings their legal guardian or parent with them during their round, that is 100% permitted. Anything beyond these parameters is absolutely against the agreement that we have signed and against the rules, and at this point, that is not permitted. This event will be utilizing online scoring. You will be provided with login credentials prior to your first round. These login credentials will be the same throughout the event. There's a separate video covering the online scoring and some tips to avoid trauma and drama. Check it out, know what you're getting into, and be ready. Speaking of videos, I'll also post a video about some common rules that are misinterpreted or that some beginners get wrong. Check that out, and be sure when you're coming into this event that you have a firm understanding of PDGA rules and guidelines. By the same token, if there's a question on your card about how a rule or a hole played and whether there's a penalty, etc., be familiar with what's referred to as provisional play. If there's a discrepancy, take a provisional, play it out. If you're not sure about a rule, don't be the guy that pipes up and starts instructing people about, yeah, this is how things are done just because you want to be heard and act like you know what's going on. I can't tell you how many situations I've been involved with where some guy doesn't really know what he's talking about, but meanwhile, he's taken it upon himself to instruct everybody about how things should work. That does not help the situation. That complicates the issue. Don't be that guy. Know the rules. There will also be a video coming out about the Big Bad Raffle, for which you do not have to be present to win. A lot of you have raffle tickets, and let's talk about the raffle tickets. What we're doing, or what I'm doing, is there's going to be photo proof of your raffle tickets going into the drum, posted on both DG Scene in the photos section, as well as the Facebook events page. The name on the ticket will match the name that you registered under. I will not be sending out individual emails because last time I did that, and that's just the stupidest way to do things ever. This stuff's all going to be posted. If if you're worried about whether your raffle tickets got in there, check out those photos. If you purchased a ticket, I guarantee it will be in there and there will be proof, but we're not going to sit here and type out one email for every single raffle ticket that was bought. It didn't make any sense and it made me nuts. This is a more efficient way to do things, so awesome for everybody. The raffle will be after the second round on Saturday. Again, you don't need to be present to win. This helps us keep the crowd down. This will be televised or broadcast, however you want to phrase it, on the Reno Disc Golfers Facebook page, and the video will be there. The video will then be copied and posted to the events page. So if you do not see the video when it's being broadcast, you can check out the video later and see if you won anything. If we have prizes that weren't claimed that evening, they will be at Tournament Central on Sunday with the winning raffle ticket taped to the item or items if there was a prize package for you to claim. Now, if you are not present to win, I am only going to be holding prizes for 1 week. You must find out if you won and get a hold of us to arrange pickup at one of the many tag rounds we have going on or other scheduled events during the week. And that should give you plenty of opportunity to get your prizes. Otherwise, after 1 week is up, the prizes will return to the prize locker for the next event. Why is this? Because it's not a viable situation to have me hold on to prizes for up to a year, maybe 2 years, and someone sees me at a tournament and goes, "Hey, man, Scott, hey," and I go, "Hey, dude," guy I don't recognize, "remember that prize I won at what event?" And I'm going, Are you crazy, man? I talk to like 200 people in a week about different things going on in disc golf, and you think I'm going to remember that you won a keychain 2 years ago up in the woods I don't know what you're talking about. Don't make it crazy for people to volunteer their time and run these events. Get your prize and be happy about winning. Don't make it a traumatic situation. Now, when getting ready for the event, be sure to pack plenty of water, bring some snacks, and some sunscreen. I know it's cool outside and comfortable, and everybody's like, yeah, spring is coming, but you can get scorched. We're at relatively high elevation. We don't want to see any of our friends in disc golf get skin cancer down the line, so protect yourself. Look, everyone's going to have at least an hour between rounds for lunch, but if you don't want the stress of running out and getting something and making sure you're at the next course, it's not a bad idea to pack a lunch. Save the stress. Get your chill on, get your lunch going, hang out in the parking lot, get ready for the next round. Should go without saying, but be sure you know the address of the courses involved with this event and where they are located. Now look, round 2 of day 1 at the ranch has a start time posted on DG Scene. But when we're running tournaments like this, and this is the first time we've had one of these in Reno, where there's one course here and there's players migrating to another course, sometimes there are delays that happen that are beyond our control. Maybe there's an accident that clogs up a freeway and then people can't get there where they thought they could go this way and blah, blah, blah. Get there by the posted start time, and if there's a delay for any reason, we'll keep you posted. Go with the flow. Don't freak out. Everything's going to be just fine. Look, I shouldn't need to tell you this because you already know the rules, but dogs aren't allowed at a PDGA event. Don't pull this business where, oh, I've got my dog on a leash and blah, blah, blah. It's not even a discussion. Okay? Come on. There are no outside sales of anything at this event. So if you're like, hey man, I've got all these extra discs and just show up in the parking lot and I didn't do any of the work to make any of this stuff happen and I don't care what's going on. I'm going to sell my used, whatever it is, whatever your idea is. That's been nixed. Okay? There's no outside sales of anything at this event. If you get caught doing so, it's an instant DQ, no explanation required. Again, this is a true AM experience. What that means is the players packs that you received at check-in are worth way more than the entry fee you paid to participate in the event. And as a true AM experience, you are competing for trophies only, except this event has an additional component where Disc Giant is providing bonuses. As specified in check-in, bonuses are provided in divisions of 3 or more players. Emails were sent out to people participating in divisions of 2 or less players, giving them the opportunity to join a larger division if they were worried about a potential bonus. These aren't big bonuses, they're just small things where maybe someone gets to pick out a disc if they finish first, that kind of thing. For divisions of 3 to 6 players, this will be a bonus for the top place finisher. For divisions of 7 or more, there will be bonuses for the top 3 finishers in those divisions. We got a lot of people at this event, and we've never tried this format, especially with AMs going from one course to the next. So one thing to keep in mind, while there is etiquette on the course, and please know about etiquette during a tournament, and if someone gives you a heads up, hey man, I don't want you standing behind the basket and doing this kind of stuff when I'm putting and jiggling your keys when I'm driving, because that type of behavior constitutes a courtesy violation and you can be stroked for that. But what I'm getting at is something else. Speed of play. We're going to play this time by speed of play. In general, we want to start with the player with the furthest lie and progress towards the closest shot to the basket in that regular order that we usually do things. But if it's close, don't sit there and deliberate. Hey, I'm out. No, you're out. Do all this monkey business. Just step up and go, hey man, I don't mind putting first. Let's try to keep things going. 2-meter rule is always in effect in this region. It's definitely in effect here, although the good news is there's not tons of trees in these courses, but you may encounter a couple lone offenders on the wedge or the ranch that might come into play. Most likely not. More so at Lizard, but not tons of opportunities to get a 2-meter rule penalty. But be aware of what the 2-meter rule is and how you play if you are in a tree. OBs. Yep, there's some OBs at these courses. I will have a sheet that kind of outlines the OBs, and you guys can refer to the sheet and go, oh God, this hole 2 at this course, and guys, is that OB? Whoa, look at the sheet. On holes where a disc may come to rest on an OB rock line, for example, or underneath a split rail fence, for another example, the rock line and the split rail fence constitute the OB line, and the OB line is out of bounds. To be considered safe, a portion of your disc must be over that line and touching in bounds. It could be that much of the disc. It doesn't have to be a bunch of the disc, but you have to get a consensus if it's close. You have to stand directly above the line, looking straight down at the line, and know that the disc, even though it's sitting on the rock OB line, for example, that the edge of the disc is over the in-bounds playable area. Practice baskets. Practice holes are limited to your starting hole and or the basket closest to your tee pad for your starting hole for putting. The practice baskets at all of the courses will be out of commission during the event. This is to prevent groups from gathering and putting us in non-compliance with our agreement with the county. Trophies. Hopefully after this adventure in disc golf competition, you will be in contention for a trophy. Trophies will be available for the top finishers in each division, first only for smaller divisions, and top 3 in larger divisions. The trophies will be available as you exit from your finishing holes once your scores are finalized on the PDGA tournament page. Okay? Sometimes this takes up to 5 minutes, so after you guys all sign off on your scores after the round, don't freak out if you don't immediately see them show up on the PDGA event page. Sometimes it takes a couple of minutes for the server to catch up. Hang out for a second. Once those come up, I know that you probably know that you won, but we need that verification, and then I can bust out the trophies, and you can be out of there having had a successful tournament experience. Thanks again, everybody, for your participation in the first annual Reno Am Jam. We look forward to seeing you out there and having a trouble-free and awesome, fun event.